care was raising my children while I worked long hours to provide. Working over 10 years in corporate America, I realized corporate America wasn't for me. When I learned, it was what I knew, the credentials I had, but who I knew that would get me the job. I was being constantly overlooked for positions I knew I qualified for and had the experience for. I know attempting to climb the corporate ladder will be challenging. I didn't want to fight proving myself when building someone else's dreams. That wasn't the system I wanted to be a part of. I wanted to lead this way of life. I was inspired by my own struggles with my credit to begin my own business in financial literacy and credit repair industry. Like many others around me, financial literacy was not something that was frequently talked about. I knew what many others needed help with their credit as I did. I spent several years building, researching, invested in me to have the knowledge I needed to be able to go back into communities across the nation to help others who lack awareness of financial literacy and credit repair. I've been featured on Yahoo News, Yahoo Finance, Entrepreneur News, Fox CBS, and WEBC TV. So without further ado, here's our guest speaker, Ms. Wileena Joseph.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Sade. Thank you, Shanice. I apologize if I chopped your name up. I am very honored to be able to share this platform with you all. Tonight, we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to do Q&A. I'm going to be transparent, and I'm going to be open and honest with everyone when it comes to financial literacy as well as credit repair. Again, my name is Wileena Joseph. Born in New Orleans, Louisiana, my parents moved to Chicago, Illinois. I was a teen mom at the age of 16. A lot of people across the nation, they frown upon on teen moms because they look at us as though we may be dependent on government assistance. We may not graduate from high school and further our education. I wanted something different with me. I wanted something different, to show my daughter when I had her at that age. So I found myself having to prove something to the world that I was not going to be a statistic of what society said that I was going to be because I was a teen mom. So yes, I did finish high school. I went on to college. I got my MBA in business management, project management. But when it came to corporate America, they put a cap on what I was worth. And I know because I spent so much time in school, so much time in investing in me, I knew I wanted better. I knew I wanted to take my family to the next level, to the next tax bracket, but corporate America will allow me to do that. But because I made wrong mistakes, wrong decisions when I was in college, regarding my credit, a lot of financial institutions did not find me credit worthy. Why? Because Wileena found a chapter 7, not once, but twice. And Wileena also found a chapter 13. So a lot of me venturing off, trying to leave corporate America and become an entrepreneur, a lot of financial institutions did not find me credit worthy. So I had to spend a long time investigating, researching in regards to how can I get my credit to where it needs to be so I can prove to society, I could prove to financial institutions that I am a good paymaster. So I joined this movement, this financial literacy movement and credit repair. And within 60 days, of me joining this movement on the credit repair part, I got all of my bankruptcies deleted off. I had 4 student loans deleted off, and I had a couple of late payments deleted off. But of course, as we know, Credit repair is not an overnight process. You have to trust the process as well as you have to be involved in the process. So once I got me together and got the knowledge that I needed, I wanted to go out into the world and be able to share and help individuals who was basically in the same situation as me. Because I will be the first to let you all know, in my household, my parents didn't teach me the importance of credit repair. My parents didn't teach me the importance of financial literacy. So I found out as I traveled across the nation that it was not just in my household, it was in others' households as well. So I joined forces with helping people, doing webinars, doing seminars, talking about the importance of credit. And when I got finished with my process, I became board certified as a credit repair specialist and a financial literacy educator. And here I am now on my time to own, sharing my story, as well as helping you all become either first-time homeowners or reaching or refinancing your homes. Credit repair. What is credit? Credit is something that's needed. A lot of people don't think that credit is important, but it is important. Credit is power. And what you need to realize is you are being judged based off that 3 number that travels with you for the rest of your life. Anytime you apply for credit, whether you're trying to get a department store credit card, you're trying to apply for a car, homeowner, rental, they look at your credit. So they ask you, a lot of people, they say, well, has my credit score calculated? It is calculated in 5 areas. 35% is your payment history. Are you paying your bills on time? Meaning, are you paying your car note on time? Are you paying your credit cards on time? Are you paying your mortgage? Are you paying your department store credit cards on time? A lot of people feel as though if they pay their credit card by the due date, that they paying their bills on time. And that's not true. Your due date is nothing but a grace period. How you want to pay your bill, you want to contact the financial institution and ask them, hey, what day do you report my payments to the credit bureaus? Because if my due date is the 20th, which is a grace period, but they report it to the credit bureaus on the 15th, technically you're late because you're showing a balance. You always want to show a 0 balance when it comes to making your payments. So meaning that if your credit card is due on the 15th, it's due on the 20th, but they report it to the credit bureaus on the 15th, make sure that you're paying your bills on or before the 15th of each month. Then you want to look at your utilization, which makes up 30% of your credit. Are you staying within 30% of your utilization? Because you don't want to seem like you need what they loaned you. You want to be able to show them that, hey, I can maintain as well as pay what you all loan me on a monthly basis by staying within my 30% utilization. But at the same time, you want to stay between 9 to 10%. And that's what I tell all my clients. When it comes to your utilization, stay between 9 to 10% if you're able to financially, but you never want to exceed the 30%. Then you're looking at the 15%. Are you just being reckless? Are you constantly applying for credit, knowing that you're going to be denied? And I tell, everyone when I'm educating them, if you know that you have bad credit, if you know that you are in the 400s, if you know that you are in the 500s, if you know that you are in the 600s, depending on what you're applying for, and you know that you're going to get denied, don't apply for it, because you're going to get a ding, not once, but twice. You're going to get dinged because you ran your credit, and you're going to get dinged because you got denied. Then your installment loan versus your revolving loan makes up 10%. Do you have an installment loan, meaning your mortgage, car note, revolving, your credit cards, your department store credit cards? That's how you're calculating your overall credit score. So let's talk about collections. Because this is the tax season, this is the time of year that a lot of collection agencies, they start harassing you. And as a consumer, you need to know your rights. You need to know, hey, is this collection agency, is they licensed in my state to collect the debt? If they not, then they shouldn't be calling you. They shouldn't be trying to collect the debt from you. And if they are licensed in your state to collect the debt, then you as a consumer have the right to ask for a copy of that license to prove that they are licensed. A lot of creditors are insured when it comes to them financing you on anything. For example, let's say you have a T-Mobile and you just, for whatever reason, stop paying your bill. In order for that creditor to write that off as a loss, they have 180 days to try to collect that debt from you. If they don't collect that debt from you within 180 days, their insurance is going to pay it off in order for them to file it on their taxes as a loss. Once their insurance paid it off, legally, by law, they can no longer come after you. So what they do with that debt, they sell it to a collection agency for penny on the dollar. The collection agency don't have all of your information, nor was you as a consumer contracted with them. So because you're not being contracted with them, technically and legally, that's no longer your debt. It becomes your debt all over again once you get on that recorded call with them and they ask, hi, is this Wileena Joseph I'm speaking with? And if I say yes, verify my date of birth, verify the last 4 digits of my social security number, that debt becomes mine all over again. The statute of limitations start over again. And now I'm in contract with that collection agency. They are trained, and I need for you all to understand, collection agencies are trained to be able to keep you on the call between 1 to 2 minutes to get you to verify your identity. What you want to let them know, you don't have to verify that, hey, this is whomever they asking to speak to. Let them know, whatever business you have, send it to the address on file and disconnect the call. Disconnect the call. Whether it's the correct address or not, that's not your concern. That's not your concern. But what you want to do, you want to get with a reputable, certified, board state certified person or company to help you when it comes to the credit repair process. You want to make sure that you partner with someone that's going to actually educate you during the process. You want to know, as a consumer, you want to know your rights. You want to know what it is that you can and cannot do. You want to know what a creditor can and cannot do to you. You want to know what a collection agency can and cannot do to you. You need to know that legally by law, if you disputing negative items, that they have between 35 to 40 days to respond to your dispute. If they don't respond within that time frame, legally, according to the Fair Credit Reporting Act of 1971, they have to delete those negative items off your account. 10% of capacity. How long have the items been on your account? A lot of people look and they so eager to get negative items deleted off that they have the whole account deleted off. And you don't want the whole account deleted off because you have to have that history. That history makes up 10% of your overall credit score. So getting the negative items regarding that particular account deleted off, that's what you want deleted off, the negative reporting. You don't want the account itself deleted. Because if the negative reporting is deleted, your credit score is going to increase between 20, 25, if not 30%. But if you're thinking about deleting the whole account, or if you get that whole account deleted, and you've been having this particular account between 2 years to 3 years, your credit score definitely will decrease between 50 to 75 points. That's why it's important for all consumers to be involved in the process of the credit restoration. You don't want to be so caught up in, well, I paid someone to help me get the negative items off. That's true. You did pay for someone to assist you. But now it's time for you to be educated so you won't go back to that person to assist you to get negative items off again. Now you're being more involved. Now you're being more conscious. Now you're educated. Now you're wise in regards to what it is that you should be doing and what you should not be doing. So let's talk about medical bills. And if you all have any questions, by all means, please ask your questions in the comments. No question is a dumb question. The only dumb question is the question that's not asked. Let's talk about medical bills. A lot of people, including myself, we get medical bills for whatever reason that either our insurance don't cover it. We have to call the ambulance for emergency. We have a co-payment that we didn't pay. Whatever the reason why we have medical bills that goes into collection, do your medical information supposed to be sold to a collection agency? Do your medical bill supposed to be sold to anyone? And the answer is no. That's a violation of your HIPAA. If they don't have anything in writing with your signature stating that you are supposed to be, that you give an authorization that you can share, they shouldn't be sharing it. Those medical bills are the easiest things to get deleted from your account. However, there's a clause to that. If the collection agency is owned by the medical company, the private office, the private doctor, if he owned that, then yes, they can coexist. Meaning that, hey, once it's the 180 days up, they can go ahead and transfer your medical file to their in-house collection agency. because it's owned by the same company. That can transpire. That can happen. So in that case, if you want that item to be deleted off, then you want to do some form of negotiation. You don't want to do a settlement, because a settlement is just like it's staying in collection. A settlement is just like a bad negative reporting. You want to do either a pay as delete, or you want to get something in writing stating that once you have paid this debt in full, that they're going to contact the credit bureaus and report it as paid as agreed. You never want to do a settlement. You want to do either a pay as agreed or pay to delete.
Thank you, Ms. Wileena Joseph, for all of the great information. We do have a statement and a couple of questions in the chat. Ms. Hudson said, I just saw something on Shade Room that a law was passed, whereas the credit bureaus have to remove those.
Remove what?
Meanwhile,
remove what?
To remove those medical collections.
So I saw that too. I did. I saw that too. And I want a lot of people to understand that when it comes to collection agency, they are not partnered with the government. They're not partnered with the state. They're not partnered with the federal. The credit agencies is a private owned for-profit companies, meaning that they get paid for your debt. Meaning that they're not going to say, hey, this is Aaliyah Clark. We're supposed to delete this medical bill. Or, hey, this is Sade DeJour. This been on her account for 7 years. It's time to delete it. No, they're not doing a full detailed analysis of each consumer credit report to that magnitude. So you as a consumer, it's your responsibility to get that disputed and deleted off. And if you have anything that will back your case up, documentation or anything, you want to make sure that you attach that to your dispute letters to help your case even more. So yes, I did see that on Shade Room too, but they're not just going to automatically go through each consumer credit profile and delete medical information on your credit report, medical collections or anything. They're not going to do that. It's no different when it comes to the student loans. When you have these colleges and universities that was not of code and they shut down, even though you took out a loan. They're not going to just, hey, this is Bianca Kidd. I went to DeVry. And DeVry had lawsuits, and now these student loans is voided out. No, they're not just going to forgive it. They're not just going to delete it off. You got to have that disputed for deletion. We always have, as consumers, we always have to keep in mind that the credit bureaus are a for-profit and they get paid billions annually off of your bad debt. So you think they're going to voluntarily go through each consumer profile and delete something negative off of it? No, they're not going to do that at all. That's why it's very important for you as a consumer to if not daily, I'm addicted. I look at my credit on a daily basis. I get notified. I'm partnered with Smart Credit. My company we partner with Smart Credit. So I'm constantly on a daily basis looking at my credit, getting notifications to see, hey, what's been added? What's been deleted? Has my credit score increased? Has my credit score decreased? Is someone trying to steal my identity? Because doing it right now, depending on what your credit score is, no one trying to mess with you. No one trying to steal your identity. But once you get on the verge of trying to reestablish credit, build credit, increase your credit score, yes, you definitely going to be on the black market radar of getting your identity stolen, because now your credit score is increasing.
Thank you, Ms. Joseph. I have Ms. Lakeisha. She said, can you talk about the process and legality of removing charge-offs? Thank you.
So when it comes to charge-offs, are we talking about, let's say, an auto loan charge-off? Or what are we talking about? If she want to get a little bit more detail. But when it comes to charge-offs, that means that collection agency, that means student loans charge-off. I see the question, Lakeisha. When charge-off, that means that they attempted to try to collect that debt from you, but they couldn't collect that debt, so they charged it off. And normally when they charge it off, their insurance have already paid for. During this whole pandemic time, these past 2 years, you shouldn't be getting anything when it comes to student loans. Within these past 2 years, no one student loan should have been given a charge-off status. These past 2 years, your student loans should have been being reported as positive. Now, come June 1st, that's when everything starts over again when it comes to student loans. Come June 1st, if you're not in deferment, if you have some type of monthly payment that you was supposed to be paying, then yes, come June 1st, you have to start back paying your student loans. But when it comes to charge off with your old student loans, you want to go ahead and get deleted off. I need for you all to understand, when it comes to student loans, the negative reporting of your student loans, meaning the late payments, meaning that the charge offs, those type of things can be deleted off. But no, you still will owe for those student loans. You still have to pay the government back. You still have to pay those federal student loans back. The only thing that can get deleted off your credit report when it comes to student loans is the negative reporting, meaning the late payments, the charge off, things like that. If anyone was to ever tell you that they can have your student loan wiped out where you never have to pay them back, that's not true. I was about to say another word, but that's not true. That's not true. You have to pay your student loans back. There's no way around it. It's no different if you owe the IRS. It's no different if I want to say everybody that's on this Zoom reside in the state of Illinois. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is that correct, Sade?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that's no different than if student loans, no different than you owe the IRS, no different if you owe the city of Chicago for parking tickets. That you have to pay all three of them. They want their money. They're going to report it to the credit bureaus, but those reportings are negative. Anything that's reporting negative can be deleted, can be disputed and deleted off. But yes, and yes, for the third time, you have to pay it. If anyone ever tell you that I could get it away where you never have to pay them back, it's not true. It's not true at all.
Thank you, Ms. Joseph. I have another question from Mr. Washington. Is
Okay.
it good or bad to pay your credit card bill off after each purchase?
I would say yes, it's good because at the end every month you want to pay you want to pay it off, so it's reporting to the credit bureaus as a zero balance. As a zero balance. If you want to leave $2, $3, $5 on there, that's fine. But you want to pay majority of it off on a monthly basis if you're able to. So once it's time for them to report your payment to the credit bureaus, that is showing that you don't owe nothing. The goal of that is to get your credit score to increase. The goal of that is to show potential financial institutions that you are a good paymaster, that you could pay your bills on time. Not only that, that whatever you borrow for that month, you're able to pay it back that month. So yes, it's very good to pay it off on a monthly basis. And if you can't pay it off, you want to pay more than what's due. So if what's due is $50, go ahead and give them an extra 10 to 15, if not $20, because now you're helping your interest. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Ware said, what are some do's and don't tips that is a need to know based upon this lifestyle?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that, Sade?
Yes. What are some do's and don't tips that is a need to know based upon this life path?
The do's and don'ts is pay your bills on time. Pay your bills on time. Don't borrow more than what you can handle. Don't max out your credit cards. Try to stay within 30% of your utilization. Know your debt to income ratio. Don't have more debt than you have income coming in. Do a monthly budget. If you have a goal that you're trying to accomplish, now it's time for you to put your needs before your wants. Save. Every time you get paid, pay yourself 10% of your gross. If you're able to save that 10%, that's great. Do a lifestyle change. What is your net worth? Ask yourself, what are you worth? How you could tell what you are worth? Look at your stock, look at your bonds, look at your 401k. Look at your savings account, look at your life insurance. If you are already a homeowner, look at that. If you have a business and you got income coming in, look at that. Calculate all of that. Know what you are worth. Don't live beyond your means. Invest in you. Isolate you when you on this road to trying to become a better you. Come isolate yourself when it comes to trying to be on the road of financial literacy, getting your credit repaired. Budgeting. Budget yourself. Budget your income. So everything that I just named Implement that on this journey of trying to become financially educated, on this journey of trying to repair your credit restoration. Educate yourself. Involve yourself throughout the process. Ask questions. Never assume anything. Ask questions.
Thank you, Ms. Joseph. I felt like you were talking to me personally. We have a question from Ms. Alston. Is having a recent settlement on your credit report impact the home buying process? If so, how?
When it comes to settlement is just like a negative items. The financial institution, they're going to ask you, why was this settled? If you can avoid settlement arrangements, do so. Do so. I don't know what everybody's time frame is when it comes to purchasing a home, but when you want to settle, it's okay to settle between you and the collection agency, meaning coming up with an agreement. But you don't want them to report that word settlement to the credit bureaus. You want to either pay to delete or pay as agreed. So that word settlement is frowned upon. And the reason why it's frowned upon, because a lot of financial institutions going to look at, hey, you're not a good paymaster. Instead of you paying back what you borrowed, 9 times out of 10, you didn't pay your bills on time monthly. They had to chase you to pay your bills. And because it's past because you probably 30, 60, 90, 180 days late, now it's to the point where, hey, let's get something better than nothing. So let's settle with this consumer. And by them settling with you, they're going to report it as what they did, settled, a settlement. So again, if you are able to get a pay as delete or pay as agreed, then that's the route I would recommend for you to go.
Okay, we have Ms. Miller. I have a Chapter 7 debts charged in June 2020. This has a huge impact on my ability to qualify for home loans. Can the Chapter 7 be deleted as if it never existed?
And the answer to that is yes. Remember, I had a Chapter 7, 2, and a Chapter 13. The credit bureaus have a third-party company that they are partnered with that could go into the court's database to see who are all in Chapter 13s and Chapter 7s. And that's how the creditors are getting your information in regards to you filed the Chapter 13 or Chapter 7. A bankruptcy hurts you more than it helps you. And the reason why I say that is because when you file in bankruptcy, especially a Chapter 7, the only thing that you're doing is getting yourself out of having to financially pay those creditors back. Which means once you file that Chapter 7 and it's discharged, everything that you file in the Chapter 7 is going to report on your credit report with a 0 balance, but it's going to remain on that as either a bankruptcy or discharge, which means that all of those negative items it still have to be disputed and deleted off. And that's what a lot of bankruptcy attorneys do not tell their clients. After filing a bankruptcy, you still have to go through the credit repair process of cleaning up your credit and getting that negative, public, derogatory item deleted. I hope that answered your question.
Ms. Vargas, sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Do you recommend landlords report your rent to credit bureaus?
Actually, I do. Yes, I do. I'm partnered with Credit My Rent. And that's one thing after my clients that get negative items off, that's one of the positive trade lines that I recommend for them to do. Rent is one of the biggest bills that a lot of consumers have on a monthly basis. So why not add that as a positive trade line to help increase your credit score monthly? So yes, I do recommend for you all to have your landlord to report that to the credit bureaus on a monthly basis. However, you have to make sure whatever contract that you and your landlord have, whether you pay on the 1st through the 15th, the 5th through the 10th, the 10th through the 15th, whatever agreement that you all have, make sure that you pay your rent during that time frame, so they are able to report it monthly as a positive trade line.
Thank you. I have another question. Why is it so important to pay your student loan debt in order to get a home?
Because your student loan, when it comes to student loan, 9 times out of 10, that's the biggest debt that a lot of consumers have. So that makes up the majority of your debt to income ratio. So the finance company want to make sure that, hey, you have more income, or your income is balancing off when it comes to your debt. So they want to see that, hey, you're not constantly. So at Nat Cannon, you're not constantly putting your student loans in deferment. Because when you constantly put your student loans in deferment, the only thing that you're doing is putting that year worth of student loan payment on the back end of your student loans, which increasing your debt to income, which increasing your interest rates, which increasing and doubling the amount that you originally borrowed. So they want to see that, hey, okay, Annette Cannon, you know, she have $50,000 in student loans, but I see she making $25 a month towards it. And by her making those payments on a monthly basis, it's helping her debt to income ratio. It's decreasing her interest. It's freeing up more money that she bring it into her household, which overall, it helps the lenders to be able to provide you with more money for the type of house that you want.
Okay.
That's why it's important for you to be able to, that's why it's important for you to pay your student loans.
Okay, the next question is, why is it so important to keep your inquiries on your credit report down?
Why? Because when you're supposed to have between 2 or 3 inquiries in an 18-month period. Once you start getting 15, 25, 30 inquiries within 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, within a year, you start to look desperate. And what I mean by desperate, now you frivolously running your credit. So it's like now you trying to see, okay, who's going to approve me for whatever So let me constantly apply for credit cards. Let me constantly apply for department store cards. Let me go get an auto loan. When they're going to run your credit up, just max it out. So no, you shouldn't, especially when you're going through the credit restoration process. When you're going through the credit restoration process, you shouldn't be applying for no lines of credit. You should be trusting the process and trying to get the negative items off versus applying for credit and getting denied. And here you go, got another 2 to 3 inquiries on your credit. A lot of people think that they have to wait between 2 to 3 years to have inquiries off. That's a myth. That's not true. You don't have to wait 2 to 3 years to get an inquiry off, dispute it and have it deleted off. Or you could, if you want, you could call a company and let them know what it is that you're trying to do. And if they don't mind, can they go ahead and contact the credit bureaus and have it deleted off for you? When it comes to the credit restoration process, it's about keeping the lines of communication open with your creditors. That's how you build a healthy bond with your creditors. You don't want to dodge them. You want to communicate with them. And when you communicate with them, trying to pay something off or whatever it is, be honest with self and be honest with them in regards to what it is you can handle financially to pay that debt down. You don't want to overextend yourself.
Thank you. Another question is, what are some tips you can give to help build up the credit score?
The tips that I can give is, first, you want to get the negative items deleted off. You don't want to try to add positive trade lines on top of bad credit. Your credit score won't go anywhere. So the first thing you want to do is get the negative items disputed and deleted off. Then you want to go ahead and start adding positive trade lines, like credit my rent, your rental history. Then you want to start adding, depending on where your credit is, and if you can't get approved for a major credit card, you want to get a secure credit card. Secure credit cards, yes, you upfront the money, but it's treated like a major credit card, meaning that you still have to stay within 30% of your utilization. Yes, you still have to pay it back, not by the due date, but the day that they report it to the credit bureaus. Yes, still you have to show some form of activities on a monthly basis, so they can report it to the credit bureaus on a monthly basis that you are a good paymaster. So it's all about paying your bills. So it's the credit my rent, it's the secure credit card. If you able or you do have a major credit card, you want to constantly pay your bills on time. You want to pay more than, what the amount you owe for that month. Always pay more, never pay just the bare minimum. The goal with credit cards, auto loans, department store cards, you want to beat the bank, you want to beat the banks at their own game. And that's paying more to decrease the interest. Once you master that, you master money. You want to stay, like I can't stress enough, stay within your means. On this road to home ownership, it's like you isolating your finances. At the same time, you get everything that's negative into positive when it comes to your credit. You don't want to run your credit. You don't want to apply for anything.
Thank you so much, Ms. Joseph. Can you please put your information in the chat for me?
Yes, I can.
And also the last question is, What are some recommendations for secure cards?
So secure cards, let's see. Okay, so I'm partnered with Sage. Sage is a good secure credit card to get. Capital One, I recommend, I would recommend Capital One as well. Also, talk to your financial institutions to see if they have secure credit cards, and depending on the interest rates. You don't want to get a secure credit card that's going to basically approve you based off your credit. If they're going to approve you based off your credit, you want to try to stay away from that. So Sage, I'm gonna type my information. Sage is one very good secure credit card, and they don't go based off your credit. Oh, I didn't just put my name. Sorry.
What about Open Sky? Is that a good secure credit card company to go with?
Open Sky, they okay. They not the best. They're not the best, and they go based off your credit. You want to try to, if your credit is not that good, you want to try to stay away from, running your credit and being denied. So when it comes to the secure credit card, you want to try to stay with secure credit cards that's not going to approve you based off your credit. If that makes sense.
Yes, makes a lot of sense. Can I speak on that as well?
Yes, ma'am.
First off, I want to say you are truly the bomb.com. I've been sitting here listening to you, and you did that. I must applaud you. And what our guest is saying is 100% right. You got to understand that even with secure credit cards, it's a little different today than it was a while ago. A long time ago, it would just give us $300 and we're going to open your account. Well, some of these companies now are doing credit checks. So you may give them $300, but because your credit score is at like a 500 or something of that nature, they may do I don't want to even say, no, some of them do a hard pull. So before you even ask, because I know Navy Federal and a few other companies may do a hard pull. So before you even go through with it, you want to ask them, are you doing a soft pull or a hard pull on my credit report? And that's a nowadays thing. Before, you wouldn't have to do that. What I would tell you is look at companies like Self App, look at companies like Credit Strong, because what these companies are is they're not hitting you with that inquiry, and 9 times out of 10 times out of 10, you're going, and it's kind of like a CD. That's really almost what it is. You pay a payment of $50 a month, and then it sends it to all 3 credit bureaus, boost your scores up a little bit. So now when you go after these, intro level secure cards or whatever you want to call them, your chances of getting it is a lot higher. What you don't want to do, just like our guest was saying, she did a great job of saying, is you don't want to just be out here willy-nilly, just let me get this and let me get that and let me try to get this and keep on, because you got to look at credit like this. When you deal with personal credit, if you don't need their money, they're going to want to give you more money. When you deal with business credit, it's the more you use, the more they give you. But when you deal with personal credit, when you got those, you got a limit of $900, but you done spent $2,000, but they ain't gonna let you go that high, but you done spent $1,200, they're looking at you like you're a high risk now. And what they're saying is, nah, this person is too risky to lend money to. If anything, they may drop your limit, all depending. If you're maxing out every week or every month and not paying back. So secure, good secure. The reason why I would tell you to go with a big institution when you go to these secure cards, like Discover may have a secure card. In fact, I do know Discover does have a secure card for like $200 or $300. Bank of America, all your major banks have secure cards. The reason why I would try to go through them instead of an open sky, and don't get me wrong, start with what you can get. Everybody's levels and situations are different. You know, open sky may be the entry level to go. Those are like low credit cards or entry level credit cards just to get in the game, but you're being penalized and taxed interest rates like crazy. And then with credit cards like Open Sky, they're not going to increase your limit by leaps and bounds. They may increase your limits by 1,500 or 900 or 2,000. Then it's pretty much a wrap. You ain't gonna go no further than that. But they may have something or have done something that I don't know about. But the point that I'm making is, let's say if you go with a Navy Federal Secure card, and I know this from somebody personally, and Bank of America, and you get a secure card from them. Now, you make that payment monthly, whatever, monthly, it's a big institution. So now what happens is you go from $200 secure or $300 secure, you look up 6 months later or 9 months later or a year later, and they done increase it to like $3,000 and transition to a regular credit card. Does that make sense what I'm saying? So those are the pros, because now when you get with these big like Citibank or Capital One or something of that nature, they're going to continue to increase and increase and increase. When you deal with these little like entry level credit cards, they're good for the moment, but they're only going to give you so much. And then after a while, you're going to have to close that account and then transition to another credit card or a secure card to get in the big boy game, because your overall goal is you want those big $50,000 or $30,000 credit lines with American Express and so on and so on. So I hope I didn't overstep my boundaries, but like I said, our guest did a superb job of explaining everything thus far. But that's my 2 cents where secure credit cards are concerned.
You didn't overstep your boundary, and you actually explained it great. But one thing about some of these financial institutions is that even Navy Federal, and I love Navy Federal. I'm a client.
Yes.
I'm a client personal, and I have my personal and I have my business accounts with Navy Federal. And the one thing about with Navy Federal, they allow you to do a pre-qualification.
Yes, true.
You can pre-qualify to see if you're going to be approved for their secure or unsecured credit card, and if they will be honest with Navy Federal will be honest with you, and they have a different scoring system than the actual credit bureaus does. So I love Navy Federal, and that's one of the credit unions that I help my clients to get into. So even with Discover, I want to say with Discover as well as Capital One, they allow you to do a pre-qualification. If you get denied through the pre-qualification, the pre-qualification is a soft inquiry. And if you get denied, don't proceed, because you're going to get denied again, but that time it's going to be on as a hard inquiry.
Thank you so much, Ms. Joseph, for all the knowledge you gave and coming to speak with us tonight. Thank you, our management here at My Turn to Own and team members. And thank you guys for being on this wonderful Wealthy Wednesday call tonight. Please stay connected with us and with other resources here at My Turn to Own at myturntoown.org. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and good night, everybody.